Hello everyone, my name is Kaden King and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I tell interesting or scary stories that I found online or that you have submitted to me.
If you're new here,
run. And he's back. Anyway,
yay.
If you guys have any stories of your own that you'd like to submit, you can contact me on my social media or even post on the subreddit page. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Yee. As you can tell by the title, my dead grandfather came to see me. I was around 3 or 4 when this happened. My 2 oldest sisters had their own rooms, therefore I didn't have my own. I was asleep in my parents' bed when all of a sudden I woke up. As I opened my eyes, I saw a white figure in front of me. All of it was white, except the piercing blue eyes. I know this wasn't a form of sleep paralysis. I was fully alert and could move every part of my body. As I looked at him, I realized that it wasn't my imagination. I tried to wake my mom up, but she wouldn't wake up. I shook as hard as I could, with all my toddler strength. We locked eyes for a couple of seconds. I ducked my head under the covers. I felt whatever that thing was coming closer. I squeezed my hands under the covers, preparing for the worst. Then, I felt it check on me. I was confused. I also felt comforted. Not really scared. Even though it appeared randomly, it disappeared as soon as it appeared. The next morning, I asked my family questions, but as you would expect, I didn't get answers. While my mom was getting ready to take me to my grandma's, I was playing with my Mickey Mouse trains. Then I saw a little boy, dressed in 1930s, 1950s clothes. I got the same kind of comfort that I got the night before. I let him play with me. After a couple minutes, he pushed one of the trains over. Then a wave of fear rushed over me. I went to get my mom, but when we got out of there, nothing was out of the ordinary. I still to this day have zero idea what happened and why no one believes me.
I was 7 years old when one day I was walking towards the couch. I decided to look up my steps as I walked by. Standing on the top of my steps, I saw a tall shadow figure. All I can see was the outline of his hat, which looked like a short top hat that Undertaker uses. Didn't watch wrestling at the time. I could even notice a long trench coat. I stared at him for a couple of seconds and he was gone. Then out of nowhere he stretched his leg towards the other room. I went to check. I don't know why I wasn't scared at the time. I entered the room where the shadow person went in and nothing. I remember when I walked down my steps I noticed another shadow figure on my wall located by the steps. I went back to my room, grabbed a metal hanger and went back to the shadow figure. It kinda looked like a mix of a pigeon and a bat, but it was black, almost looked like the alien symbiote that turns Spider-Man into Venom. So I decided to poke it with the metal hanger. As soon as I touched it, it disappeared, as if Thanos snapped his fingers. This will always be on the back of my mind. Maybe it was a dream or maybe I was wishing it was. Deep down in my soul, I know what I saw was real. My aunt called me to tell me that she's uneasy after her granddaughter started freaking out about a corner of the house. The granddaughter is about 1.5 years old. She's been living in this house since she was brought home from the hospital. This is the first time anything like this has happened. The granddaughter started avoiding, crying, screaming, pointing at a corner of the kitchen/dining room. If my granddaughter is called to the kitchen, she will hesitate to pass. My aunt and her daughter have always had visits in their dreams, from relatives and most recently a friend who passed away. My aunt is Catholic, so she's gotten holy water. She won't even outright say she thinks it is a ghost or a demon, but I feel like she's concerned it is. This came out of nowhere. This house is 20 years old. My aunt and uncle built it in like 2003. Many babies and people have been in this house and never experienced that. My assumption is that maybe she saw a shadow from the sun in the kitchen. She might have hurt herself there and is now not into it. Or let's say it is a ghost. I'd assume it's not a normal human-looking one because I don't feel like she'd freak out like that. It's strange though. She wanted my 2-year-old, who is more verbal, to go with, but to be honest, I don't know now. Last Sunday was my second night back in my dad's house. I just moved back to avoid homelessness and bide my time until I can leave town this fall. I woke up close to 5 a.m. after a particularly terrifying nightmare involving a demon. This demon had no clear form of its own. It would target one person exclusively and take on the form of its chosen victim and use fear to weaken them, to make them easier to possess. Once possessed, they'd find that the demon was controlling them to move them somewhere more isolated where it would then leave their body, scare them in the direction it wanted them to go, and finally kill them in some horrific way. I saw the demon do this to several people, possibly hundreds. But the last one is the one that I still remember. It was a woman, maybe 5.2, with blue eyes and wavy blonde hair going to her shoulders. She wore a denim jacket and a black shirt. The demon was doing everything it could to terrify her in her own home before being possessed after several weeks. Once possessed, she found herself in an abandoned factory. Other people followed from a distance as the demon walked her into the building. Over the course of a few hours, the demon scared everyone who went in to help her out of the area, or killed them in front of the woman as she ran for safety further into the building, until she was alone in the basement. Another hour or two passed before she found herself at a dead end in a dimly lit room with a vertical shaft. The demon appeared, asked the woman to scare her one last time, causing her to fall backwards into the hole. She was able to stand up and saw that she was at least 9 feet below the floor of the room above. The demon looked into the hole with a sickening grin, taunting the woman as she begged to get out and tried desperately to climb the wall to the top of the hole to no avail. The demon walked away, leaving the woman to die slowly, all alone in the shaft, nobody to hear her screams. I woke up bolting upright in my bed and heard my own breathing, not just for myself, but also about 3 feet away beside my computer. I saw nothing though, but whoever or whatever was there in my room with me was mimicking my breathing, only louder. It stayed for about 20 seconds before footsteps could be heard heading toward the door and towards the kitchen. I got out of bed, unlocked the door, and searched the whole house. Dad was still sound asleep, and everything seemed normal again. This hasn't happened since, and I hope it doesn't happen again.
This one was a bit unnerving, but not really terrifying. We have had weird experiences in our house for many years. In fact, I've smudged the house twice since the activity began. It worked, but eventually it would always start back up, but differently. I attribute this to the fact that I am a home improvement contractor, and have strange experiences in people's homes all the time. Anyway, the other day I was down in the basement switching out laundry. My washer and dryer are at the very bottom of the stairs, near my boiler and hot water heater. I put a load of clothes in the dryer, started it, and went back upstairs. As I reached the top of the stairs, I heard a very loud metallic bang, as if something heavy fell and hit the dryer. I went back down thinking I had knocked something over when I left, but could find nothing out of place. I looked around for a minute or two, and finding nothing, I blew it off and went back upstairs. When I reached the top of the stairs, I was about to open the door and walk into the kitchen when I heard it again. The loud metallic bang, the same exact sound I heard earlier. Now I'm starting to freak out a little. I thought maybe I put something in the dryer that could cause the noise, so I went back down and opened the dryer, and looked through the clothes and found nothing. I restarted the dryer and waited a good 4 or 5 minutes, looking around for something that could have caused the noise. I found nothing, and the noise didn't happen after I restarted the dryer. Now I'm thinking it could be a spirit messing with me. We had our house raid last year, and the sensitive told us that we had 2 spirits that resided in our basement. One was an old man who hung out over by the little workshop on the opposite end of the basement, and the other was a little boy who resided in the area near the washer and dryer where we store all our clothes. Thinking the boy was playing games with me, I spoke out loud to the empty room and basically said that I was okay with sharing the house with spirits as long as they meant no harm to me or my family, and that if they meant to scare or terrorize anyone, that they were not welcome and would have to leave. I turned around and went back upstairs, and the noise has not happened again. Was it a ghost? I have no idea, but it stopped when I asked it to, and I still have yet to find something to have caused the banging noise. And that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please let us know. Please leave a like, comment down below which one you liked. And if you have stories of your own, please do share. I'm very eager to know if you guys have stories of your own. Yee, like he said. Have an awesome week. Until next time, bye-bye.
Cheers, I guess.
Your mum, yeah?
Your mum, yeah?
Testing, testing, testing.
Testing your mum, yeah?
Wow.
Which looked like a short top hat that Undertaker uses. Oh my god, the guy watches wrestling. It's no wonder he saw it. Didn't watch wrestling at the time. Bullshit. How do you know Undertaker? I went back to my room, grabbed a metal hanger, and went back to the shadow figure. What the f is a metal hammer gonna do? Metal hammer, yes. Metal hanger is just... they're gonna laugh at that, man. God damn. This dude was high as a kid. Fuck, I'm sorry. The 7-year-old boy was on crack, and he saw some shit in this house. I'm sorry. This is just way too confusing. Way too random. So I decided to poke it with the metal. Yep. No, he's stoned. He's definitely stoned. Deep down in my soul, I know you were f***ing stoned as a 7-year-old boy. My question is, where the hell did you get the weed, man? God damn. 7 years old and you've seen some strange shit. I'm sorry, man. Story number 3. Sharing an experience from my aunt to get some clarification. Is this a ghost? My dude, if it was your aunt, it's most definitely a ghost. I'm just saying. I know my aunt is.
Jesus. She pulled my piercing off.
Oh no! She did?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so mayday, mayday. We have a freaking pigeon pulling off piercings.
My nose.
The nose!
The nose.
Oh, shit. Fuck knows, mate. Anyway. But they've been nothing more than dreams. My aunt is Catholic. Oh, that's your fucking problem. Anyway.
This one is a bit unnerving, but not really terrifying.
Very unnerving. And that's why it's not terrifying. Yes.
Snaps! I attribute this to the fact that I am a home improvement contractor and have strange experiences in people's homes. And have strange experiences in people's homes all the time. Snaps, let me finish the fucking sentence! I turned around and went back upstairs.